EU suspects damage in enormous Russian gas pipeline spill. By Paul Carroll and Stein Jacobson. EU ambassador accepts damage most likely caused spills. Danish protection serve stressed over Baltic Ocean security. Danish protection serve met with NATO boss in Brussels. Any purposeful interruption to the EU's energy foundation would meet a vigorous and joined reaction, its top representative said, after a few states said two Russian pipelines to Europe that have been heaving gas into the Baltic had been gone after. It stayed a long way from clear who may be behind the releases or any injustice whenever demonstrated on the Nord Stream pipelines that Russia and European accomplices burned through billions of dollars building. Report a promotion. Russia, what cut gas convinces to Europe after the West forced sanctions over Moscow's intrusion of Ukraine, has likewise said damage was plausible and that the breaks sabotaged the mainland's energy security. The European Association accepts harm presumably caused the releases recognized on Monday in the Nord Stream pipelines. Joseph Borrell was accounted for as saying by German telecaster NTV, repeating C's broadcasted by Germany, Denmark and Sweden on Tuesday. The EU has not named a possible culprit or recommended an explanation for it. Any intentional interruption of European energy framework is completely unsatisfactory and will be met with a vigorous and joined reaction, Borrell expressed, as per NTV. Denmark's Gardserv, in the meantime, said on Wednesday there was motivation to be worried about the security circumstance in the Baltic Ocean district following a gathering with NATO General Secretary Jens Stoltenberg in Brussels. Russia has a critical military presence in the Baltic Ocean locale and we anticipate that they should proceed with their saber-shaking, Morten Bodskov said in a proclamation. Report a promotion. In an indication of what amount of time it could require to determine the full degree of the harm and the reason for the holes, Bodskov likewise said it could require a week or maybe two preceding the regions around the harmed pipelines were sufficiently quiet to be explored. Sweden's indictment authority said it will survey material from a police examination concerning the harm to the pipelines and settle on additional activity. Swedish state leader Magdalena Andersson had told a news meeting on Tuesday that two impacts had been recognized corresponding to the holes. Albeit this didn't address an assault on Sweden, Stockholm was in close contact with accomplices, for example, NATO and neighbors like Denmark and Germany. Seismologists in Denmark and Sweden said they had enrolled two strong chutes on Monday nearby the breaks and the blasts were in the water, not under the seabed. The Nord Stream pipelines have been flashpoints in a heightening energy battle between capitals in Europe and Moscow that has harmed significant Western economies, sent gas costs taking off and started a chase after elective supplies. Gas rises from the Nord Stream 2 break arriving at surface of the Baltic Ocean in the space shows aggravation of well north of 1 kilometer measurement close to Bornholm. Gas spill at Nord Stream 2 as seen from the Danish F-16 interceptor on Bornholm. Denmark's military said the biggest gas spill had caused a surface aggravation of well more than 1 kilometer, 0.6 mile, in width, while organizations gave admonitions to delivery to keep away from the area. Norway has said it will fortify security at its oil and gas establishments right after the breaks and reports of robot exercises in the North Ocean, and Danish specialists requested that the level from readiness and option for its and gas area be raised. Administrator Nord Stream has referred to the harm as phenomenal while Gazprom, the Russian-controlled organization with a restraining infrastructure on its gas trades by pipeline, declined to remark. Neither one of the pipelines was siphoning gas at the time the holes were found, however the episodes scupper any leftover assumptions that Europe could get fuel by means of Nord Stream 1 preceding winter, while there are additionally worries about gas funneled through Ukraine. An improvement that could quickly affect gas supplies to Europe was an admonition from Gazprom that Russia could force sanctions on Ukraine's Naftogaz because of continuous discretion, experts at Exploration said. Naftogaz's chief said on Wednesday the Ukrainian energy firm will go on with intervention procedures against Gazprom over Russian petroleum gas which travels the country. Gazprom expressed before in the week that while dismissing every one of Naftogaz's cases in mediation, it might present authorizations against the organization in the event that it presses ahead with the case. The gamble is that these streams come to a total stop, which will just straighten out the European market further as we move towards the warming season, the investigators added. European gas costs rose following insight about the breaks. The benchmark October Dutch cost was up by 11% at €204.50 megawatt-hour on Wednesday. Despite the fact that costs are still beneath the current year's pinnacles, they stay over 200% higher than toward the beginning of September 2021. Russia diminished gas supplies to Europe through Nord Stream 1 preceding suspending streams by and large in August, faulting Western ascents for causing specialized challenges. European government officials say that was a guise to quit providing gas. The new Nord Stream 2 pipeline presently couldn't seem to enter business tasks. The arrangement to utilize it to supply gas was rejected by Germany days before Russia sent troops into Ukraine, in what Moscow calls exceptional military activity, in February.